If you never imagined that Bluey's creators would have the audacity to kill off their beloved main character, well, same. But Bluey's creators have shown us that they have the audacity to do many things you wouldn't expect from a kids' TV show, including tackling tough issues and topics like death. In this video, we're going to look at the shocking and unexpected way that Bluey dies and what it teaches us. But before we dive into that tear-jerking episode, let's quickly look at how other TV shows we love have also explored loss and impermanence, because these are really important topics that we shouldn't be afraid to talk about, and they're also connected to Bluey's death in a really strange and beautiful way. Okay, now, if you thought that Bluey was the first kids' TV show to explore death, you'd be wrong. In fact, we're pretty sure that the writers got their inspiration from this classic show, and it's all strangely connected. So, long before Bluey was ever even imagined, way back in the 90s, there was a TV show on Nickelodeon called Rugrats. It was kind of like the Bluey of the millennial generation. Rugrats was all about human families, not dog families. But we loved them for all the same reasons we love the Healers. They were funny, imperfect, and really lovable. So, one of those families was the Finsters, Chaz and his 2-year-old son Chucky, who's sweet and sensitive, kind of like the Bingo of the Rugrats kids. For the entire series, it's just Chaz and Chucky in the family. So, we assume he's a single dad. Until one episode when we find out that Chucky's mom passed away when Chucky was a baby. And behind that happy smile, we see that Chaz is still hurting and grieving from her death.
I think it's time you shared these things with Chucky.
Well, I'm just afraid he'll miss her.
Then you can miss her together.
In a heart-wrenching moment that's a first in any kids' TV show, we see Chaz in the backyard telling Chucky all about his late mom. He tells Chucky that she loved to be out in the garden playing with him and planting him flowers. And we even see a flashback of baby Chucky with his mom. And then, because life goes by in the blink of an eye, we fast forward to present-day Chucky telling his friends that his mom is in the flowers, and in the clouds, and in the grass. She isn't gone, she's everywhere. Remember this when we get to Bluey's death, okay? We'll get to that in 1 second, but first let's take a very quick look at a show that tackles death, that's actually connected to Bluey's death, in a really weird way. The show Never Have I Ever centers around a teenage girl named Davy, and it explores all of the issues that young people deal with, like social status, body image, and first loves. But if you look beneath the surface, you'll realize death is actually at the center of this entire series. You see, underlying everything Davy's going through is her dad's sudden death. And if you look closely, you can see that a lot of her issues are actually deeply connected to this sadness and grief over her dad. Death and grieving over death is something that we never really talk about. It's always pushed under the rug. And so when we put it front and center in mainstream TV shows, it tells us that death is something that's okay to talk about, because it's just part of life. It's not something we should fear. This idea is also explored in the Bluey episode, The Dump. When Dad throws out a self-portrait Bluey lovingly drew of herself, Dad explains that the drawing is being recycled and therefore it never really goes away. It just gets turned into new paper for another little girl to draw on. It's a very simple way of explaining the concept of reincarnation, the idea that we never truly die. We just pass from one form to another. Bluey's self-portrait being thrown into the dump is a symbol of life and death. Just like the flowers and the clouds and the grass that portray the life and death of Chucky's mom.
It's all right, Chucky. Don't be scared.
So keep that symbolism in mind when we talk about the episode you've been waiting for. The episode where Bluey dies. Not surprisingly, it comes completely out of the blue and punches you in the throat. At first glance, the episode seems innocent enough. Mom and Dad are trying to put together a porch swing. And though Bluey and Bingo look like they're just playing with the packaging, there's something else going on that's a lot more serious. Using the boxes and materials that Mom and Dad are throwing away, the girls are cleverly acting out the evolution of species and humanity. At the same time, Bluey's also pretending to be a mom, while Bingo pretends to be her small child. As humanity evolves from cave people to an advanced civilization, so too does the mom and child's relationship. Simultaneously, in the background, mom and dad are depicted as higher deities, divine beings that are the creator of their entire world. God, looking down upon their creations with loving pride. As the sun sets on the day, Mom Bluey checks in on her child, only to find that she's all grown up. As her adult child zooms off into the sunset, Mom Bluey, with her cardboard cane, waves a sad goodbye. Suddenly left all alone, old Mom Bluey sits down. Looking melancholy and lonely, she wonders what to do now. And then, unexpectedly, she's called from above. It's her parents, aka God, calling upon her to come and join them. And so she does.
This is heaven.
Let's unpack it all, shall we? Bluey takes loving care of her child, who grows up and then says goodbye. Bluey's left there, old and alone, until finally she's called to join her own parents in a higher realm. She walks through the darkness and into the light. From above, Mom reaches out her hand, the same way that God reaches out to Adam in Michelangelo's famous fresco, signaling Bluey's death. Reunited with her parents, Bluey sits there, looking contentedly down on her child and on the world she left behind. This is heaven, her father says. In an unexpected, throat-punching twist, the seemingly innocent-looking episode Flat Pack is a reminder that death is inevitable. It's simply a part of the cycle of life. Above all, Bluey's death in this episode teaches us that life is a gift to be treasured. Every single stage of it, every single second of it, because it all goes by in the blink of an eye. All right, guys, you may have noticed that we're doing something a bit different these days on Bluey Wisdom. First of all, we're now called Blue Sky Wisdom. And secondly, we're going to be talking about so much more than just Bluey. We think this is actually really exciting, and we hope you'll stick around for the journey. In the meantime, make sure you check out our video on Teenage Bluey and Bingo and all the tea on upcoming Season 4, which is up on screen now. It's pretty crazy stuff, and you won't want to miss it. Stay tuned, we have so much more inspiring and awesome stuff coming your way.
Oh, and if you have any favorite shows that you want us to feature, or if there's any excellent TV that you're watching that you think we should know about, drop us a comment. We're all ears. Thanks so much for watching.